Televangelist Pat Robertson is claiming that God gave him a vision of the future. A future of what happens if you vote for Donald Trump. Take a look.
Going to be a war. Ezekiel 38 is going to be the next thing down the line. Then a time of peace. Then maybe the end. But nobody knows the day or the hour when the Lord's going to come back. He said the angels don't know it. And only the Father knows it. So I'm not saying this is the second coming, but I am saying there are things that people have thought would be during a millennial time with the coming of Jesus that are going to happen in our lifetime. And the next thing is the election that's coming up in just a few weeks, at which time, according to what I believe the Lord told me, the president is going to be reelected. I'm saying by all means, get out and vote for whoever you want to vote for, but by all means, let your voice be heard. But it's going to lead to civil unrest of a great proportion, then a war against Israel, and so forth and so on.
All right, so that was a lot there. Okay, I think Donald Trump's going to win the election, and then all this terrible stuff is going to happen. Get out there and vote, kids. Message from Uncle Pat Robertson. Wow, all of that sounds absolutely fantastic, Pat. No, it actually sounds horrible. If anything, you're kind of making the case against voting for Donald Trump. I mean, there's no way you can look at that and be like, trials and tribulations, massive unrest after Donald Trump gets reelected. Great. Sign me up for that. No. But understand, like, if you're a normal person, then yeah, you're going to be like, this is ridiculous. But understand who Pat Robertson is talking about. Or I should say talking to. He's not talking to normal people. He thinks, oh no, this stuff's great. And the people that he's talking to also believe that this entire thing is awesome. And that the end of the world coming is exactly the reason why you should vote for Trump. And it's because they believe in insane things. I've talked about this before. They love the idea of the end times. There's a bunch of Trump supporting supposed Christians that all they care about is bringing forth the end of the world, the literal end of the world. Now, they think that, oh, well, we're not going to be affected. We're going to get hoovered up into heaven by Jesus, and the rest of the world is going to have to suffer because Jesus blows up the world. And understand that they're not looking at that as a bad thing. They're looking at it as a good thing. They like it. They want it. And understand, too, that this is why you can't talk to those people. I mean, you can't bring up issues like, hey, what about climate change? Maybe we should do something about it. I mean, you're not going to care about climate change if you think Jesus is going to hoover you up into heaven, right? And God's coming back to fuck up the world. Who cares? Like, climate change? Why am I going to be worried about that? Who cares about solving actual problems? Jesus is going to suck us up. So, who cares? And by the way, all of us, doesn't actually mean all of us. Apparently, only several thousand people allegedly make it. I think there's like a specific number of people that are supposed to get sucked up into heaven, which is really small. So like 99% of the world dies. And there are people that want this to happen. They want this to happen. Okay? And this is the supreme irony. They're actually pointing at Donald Trump and saying, at least, Pat Robertson is like, yeah, he's the catalyst. So wait. That would only mean, I mean, there's really only one way you could interpret that. That Donald Trump is not the Messiah, but he's the Antichrist. Again, I don't believe in any of this. This is all insanity to me. But judging from their own scriptures, the own things that they believe in, okay, that would not point to Donald Trump being somebody good if he's ushering in the end times. No, that would mean Donald Trump would be the literal Antichrist. I mean, again, as somebody who's supposed to be charismatic, has a large following, becomes a leader, becomes very powerful, gets millions of people into a thrall with, outrageous lies. I mean, Who else would you think of? Okay, who else does that sound like? Is Pat Robertson literally calling Donald Trump the Antichrist unironically? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's too dumb to realize what he's doing. But, I mean, insanity. Total insanity. That said, I want to read a couple of responses from social media because I always love doing this, right? One person says the most ludicrous thing about modern Christianity is the idea that an all-powerful being spends its time sending status updates to the crypt keeper like this guy. Another person says, Pat Robertson says God told him Trump will win re-election and bring the end times. Well, I mean, that's your clear election choice right there. Big difference between the two candidates. Yeah, well, if you believe in that stuff, that's a good point. Another one says, a vote for Trump is a vote for the apocalypse. Pat Robertson says so. Very true. And then one person asks, why God repeatedly lies to Pat Robertson, I will never understand. To which God replied, nothing has given me more consistent pleasure over the last half century than saying stupid shit to Pat Robertson. And by the way, that is God on Twitter at the tweet of God. So obviously, it's an authoritative source. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.